What's up guys, Rednap here, and I'm back with another tips and tricks video for you guys. As you can see, I have a half-made weapon. I'm working on this one. It's the famous Russian marksman weapon, Dragunov. So I'm going to show you how I texture my stuff in this video, and also how I reduce graphic related lags in the game engine. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so you already have a background image from when you're modeling the weapon. So what I do is that I use the same image that I have been using for making my model. So you just click on the model and add a new material, and then add the texture that you have been using. And then you go to UV and try to map it the best you can. It shouldn't be that hard because you have already followed the outline. Okay, so there's different ways you can map a texture on your object, but I most often use project from view because I find it the most simple. But there's some things you need to know about this one. So here's some tips. Here's a basic one. Use angles in view. If you fuck up the outline on your model, then just go back to the image and edit it so it doesn't look that terrible afterwards. If you want your model to have the same textures on both sides, then zoom out the camera before you click project from view, because the outline on the UV page will get a lot more precise than if you're zoomed in. And also the back of the model, because otherwise it will get smaller than the front. I don't want this video to be too complicated, so I'm just going to do this. Okay, fuck, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. This is why I hate making tutorials, by the way. Okay, so if you want another texture on top of your texture on the object, all you need to do is this. Click on the object, go to materials, then textures, go down to UV mapping, and if you already have this UV map, just click on that. Now go to data and make a new one for the new texture. I'm not sure if you need to click on the camera to make the UV mapping work, but better safe than sorry. Then go to textures and add a new layer and also the texture you want. Now you select the mapping you just made, and then go down and select the blend type for your texture. I'm going to use multiply. And there you fucking go. It's as easy as that. It's now time for you boys to be introduced to normal map. You are going to need some Photoshop for this one. If you're too lazy to crack Photoshop, I recommend GIMP. But if you're using GIMP, you're going to need a plugin, and I will post that one in the description. Now, just take the photo you want to normal map. Normal map makes things look more realistic, you can say. It's hard to describe. But take the picture and follow my lead. Okay, so add a new layer and add the picture as we did before. Then go down and remove color. And then you go and enable normal. And now it looks pretty good, but it could be better. So we go up again and go into image sampling and click on normal map. And there you have it. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about filters and graphic. When you start making a game, you should have a vision about how you think things should look in the game. But don't think about it too much. You start on your project, have this vision you have in your mind, and later on you can change the graphic. Also remember that most people care about the gameplay more than the graphic. I'm going to start off talking about filters. Filters are really easy to apply to your game, and it's also a really easy way to find a new look for your game that you think looks cool. If you're using Blender, I'm going to post some really cool filters in the description. Okay, so textures is a big part of graphic. The site I use for finding textures is called textures.com. It's a really good website. You could also use Google for images, but watch out for copyrighted material. Now I'm going to talk about how I reduce lag in my game engine. I'm using UPBGE, it's a fork for Blender, and trust me, it's fucking laggy sometimes. So I have plenty fucking tips on how to reduce lag. Let's start off with a simple one. Check the image's size before you add them in the game. If it is an image that you use often in the game and it's over 1 megabyte, just reduce that size. And if it's still lagging, then reduce the number of textures. If you're going to have many objects on your screen at the same time, at least make them no collision and add a invisible wall or something. Static without actors works too. If you're having big objects in one mesh, you're going to have lag spikes. And if a player can't see the object from an angle, then remove that angle from the object. Drag down max physics steps and sub-steps in scene options, if you don't need it, of course. On dynamic objects, reduce radius as much as possible. Another basic one, don't duplicate materials. Remove shading options you don't need in your game. If you still want shadows, but you don't want your game to lag balls, then make fake shadows. And of course, make a loading screen before the game starts. I'm so fucking glad this video is over. This fucking video took me 4 days to do. But you guys really liked the last tips and tricks videos, so I just had to make another one. Hopefully you learned something useful in this one. And I'm going to end the video with me completing my Dragunov, so enjoy.